Hey guys, have you had a chance to get a copy of my new book, The Ultimate Ron Guide? If you are ready to build a remote online notary business, then this book is what you need. In this book, I give you all the information that you need to know in order to build a successful remote online business, no matter what state you're in, as long as your state authorizes remote online notarizations. Head on over to Amazon today and get your copy. You'll be glad you did. Really? Hey guys, it's Vanessa Terry here with Notary to Notary, and I was prepared. And were you guys on my last live when I told you guys that I got a dog? I did. I want to talk to you guys though about a lot of things. So take your notes out. Let's go over some things that I think are going to be really important for your notary business and for business in general. There's a lot of things I want to cover today. Y'all want to see my puppy? I just got a new dog and I'm gonna need some help. So if you guys have puppy training tips, let me know. But I'm gonna, if you guys see me keep stopping because she keeps trying to chew on the wires in the office and anything she can get. Okay. But it's okay because I love my new puppy. Okay. But anywho, so let's talk about a lot of things. I haven't gone live in a little while. You guys know when I'm not going live. It's either because hide your shoes. Oh, honey, this dog doesn't go anywhere without me. Okay? Nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. Because she's been chewing up a lot of them. Hide your shoes. Just spoil them. My tip, don't get a dog. Oh, do get a dog? Tia, are you saying don't get a dog? I got to tell you guys a lot of stuff, guys. There's a lot of things I want to... So normally when I'm not on live, it's because I'm in like deep research mode. She thinks she's slick. I'm in deep research mode and I'm like, it's just a lot going on with the companies. And so that's really where I've been. iNotarize is taking a lot of my time right now, which is good because you guys know we're just, getting ready to launch. We've been doing a lot of research and stuff and getting ready to get the clerical pieces up and running. So when we do launch, we'll be able to go into different states pretty quickly. See what I'm saying? She's just chewing everything. She doesn't stop. She chews. But I know the vet said she's teething. It's okay. I'll show you guys her in a few minutes so you guys can see. In a second, she's going to come over here and start crying. I never had an issue with my dog chewing my shoes. Thank goodness. Yeah, right. Thank God. All right. I just have to watch her because there's wires over there and she keeps chewing them. All right. So I want to touch base on a few things. First, you guys know we're going to talk notary to notary, on-time notary, then iNotarize. But in so doing, I want to go over a few things that I think will be helpful for you guys. One thing that I encourage you guys, well, actually, let's come back. Let's bring it back a few notches first. First, hey, you guys have your notepad ready? So I'm going to give you guys some gems today. You guys know, like, sometimes I just talk and stuff, but today I'm going to give you guys some gems that I think will be really beneficial for you guys because I've been like in deep study research mode. And so Notary to Notary is the online training platform where we teach anybody how to build a successful notary business, no matter where you are in the country. But also we've really been getting into more business development and business growth. And so people always ask me what's the difference between your company and other training companies is that we do not just focus on, okay, you know what? One moment, guys. Come here. I apologize. She keeps chewing on wires. Can you say hi? Say hi to the people. Say hi. You got boogies. Say hi to the people. Say hi. Say how you doing? I'm going to help you build notaries. She's like, ma'am, leave me alone. Anyway, so what was I saying? We help. So the main thing that's different between her name is Roxy. So you either call her Roxy or Rox. And so the main difference between our training company and other training companies mainly is that it's funny because we started off just, focusing on notary work and, getting loan closings, getting general notary work, things like that. But we found that a lot of people needed guidance on business building, and myself included. Like the way I run my companies now, even like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, completely different from when I first started, right? Because the more that I'm learning, the more entrepreneurs that I'm meeting, they're teaching me different things. And so it's just like, oh, I need to do this or don't do this or whatever the case is. And so it's definitely, hey, say hey. I'm sorry, go to sleep. Go sleep. Go sleep. I'm sorry. She's like, don't bother me. You don't want me chewing on stuff, don't bother me. She's so cute. I love her. Okay. But yeah, so I learned that. So the main thing that makes us different is that we don't just teach you how to stamp documents. We're trying to teach you how to build successful companies. And in so doing, you're learning key pieces for building future businesses. Okay. Because I see all of us can have multiple companies, right? And that's something that's not always taught and not always discussed. And so I want to kind of break that down and really start getting to business development, things like that. Exactly. So first of all, you guys know notarytonotary.com is the notary training program. We have so many trainings on there. If you have not gotten the trainings, go ahead and get them. We have the regular notary signing agent. We have marketing. We have e-notary. We have tax and financial management. We have business credit. Now, business credit was one thing that I can honestly say I didn't know about until probably, like, I really didn't hone it in until probably like 2 years ago, probably 2 to 3 years ago. I mean, I've heard about it. I had some little things here and there, but I really didn't harness it to its full capacity probably until about 2 to 3 years ago. And I wish I had known it when I first got started, but I didn't. But it's okay because we're starting from here. But one thing I always say is, as I'm learning, guys, I give you everything that I'm learning. I always say I started as a notary in 2014. I didn't quit my full-time job until 2016. It took me 2 years. I didn't have a coach. I didn't have training. I didn't take courses. That was self-taught. 2 years, right? Imagine if I had a coach. Imagine if I had the training. Imagine if I had the support. I probably could have quit my job in 2 months because I've had students that have done that, And so it's just like, to shorten that experience learning curve, how you want to call it, it's beneficial to invest in training and coaching and research. And so that way you can cut your time down. If someone else has already gone through it, why do you want to go through the same thing and make the same mistakes when they can tell you, hey, don't do this, right? Okay. So business credit was definitely one of those things that I didn't know about. And I can tell y'all right now, I love my Shell gas card. I don't even think about gas right now. When everyone is getting gas out here, I'm not even worried about it because the terms that I have on my gas card are so awesome. Like, it's not even a thought. It's not even an afterthought. Like, I'm okay, who cares? And so, but you can get really good gas cards. I have Shell and I have like 3 other gas cards. I don't really use the other ones. I just use my Shell. But you can get gas cards that have rewards. Like, I'm taking a trip next week. I already booked, and I use my credit card reward points. And I always talk about that. That's something that we don't always talk about, how credit, you can use not only business credit, but personal credit too. And like my rule of thumb, if you guys have never heard me say it, is that my rule of thumb is I try my best not to pay cash for anything. And cash is not just dollars. It also is debit cards. Okay. Whenever I went and I did buy something awesome recently. You guys will find out. And so I bought something recently and I was like, no, I'm gonna use my credit card. And someone was with me and they were like, why are you using your credit card? And I said, because if I use my debit card, it's literally I'm just throwing the cash away. It's like the cash only worked for me one time. If I use even the debit card, it only worked for me one time, right? Because you trade the cash or the debit card, which is electronic cash, and you buy your product or your service. When you use a credit card, you still trade that money, but now you're boosting your credit score because you're getting that utilization on it, right? Which you're going to pay off, but you get that utilization, but also you get rewards. So now I've earned that money has given me 3 benefits instead of just 1. So I do my best never really to pay for cash, use cash for anything. I try my best to always use credit cards. And that's something that I learned probably like 2 years ago. But most people who are pretty successful do that. They don't use cash for anything because they understand that it's why not spend money and get 3 times the benefits of spending money, or just spend money and get one benefit? It doesn't make any sense, right? And so you get reward points. And really, a side note, if you haven't heard me say this before, if you actually were to use credit cards the way they were designed to be used, okay, if you use credit cards the way they were designed to be used, credit card companies would actually go out of business because they would lose money. But most people never take the time to actually understand the credit card industry, and they never read their terms and conditions. They don't understand, how it works. Calm your nerves. They don't understand how it works. And so when you don't understand a system, but you're using the system, it doesn't work to your advantage. And so if you actually use credit cards the way they're designed, if everyone did, credit card companies would go out of business. But instead, credit card companies make so much money off the interest, right? And the fees. But if you use them the way they're designed to, which essentially really quick, just to give you like a little piece to that. When you make a purchase, okay, so let's say you have the cash in your checking account, right? You have the cash in your checking account. You make the purchase with your credit card, right? You're going to pay for it anyway, whether that's gas, food, a purse, who cares? Your light bill, you're going to use money to pay for it anyway. Use your credit card. And then before the interest hits, so just find out when your billing is, pay it off with that cash, right? Pay it off with that cash. Now you're not paying any interest, but you earn those reward points. Okay, if you get travel points, you get cash back, whatever. So now let's say you spent $100 paying your light bill. You paid it off before your interest hit, right? So it's the same $100 you're going to spend anyway. Now you have $10 in, I'm just using an example, $10 in cash back. So you spent the same money you're going to spend, but now you made $10 doing it. So if everybody actually used credit cards the way they were designed to be used, like, it would be awesome and amazing. Like if you use what most people don't do that. They max it out, or they use a lot of it and they don't pay it off, and now you're paying interest and it's just not serving you. Most people use credit cards to pay for things they can't afford. Don't do that. That's a sign of financial illiteracy. You use credit cards for things that you never mind. I'm not going to get into but I will say, y'all, financial literacy is important. I will tell you this. I say it a lot. People say, "Oh, I want to be a notary signing agent. I want to make lots of money." Money doesn't fix money problems. I can tell you that, like personally, money does not fix money problems. That's why people can win the lottery and make them get, several millions of dollars and be broke in like 2 years. Money does not fix money problems. If you are currently in a financial situation, yes, making more money can help, but also understanding how money works and the economics and, all these things like that will help you not get back in a situation again. So financial literacy is really, really important. And you can learn most of it on YouTube completely free. Invest in yourself, and that's free. Okay, so start there. Anyway, so bringing it back to notary. So you guys know we have the notary training program, but we also add different things to give you guys a more well-rounded viewpoint. So like there's a video we're about to put out now that's really breaking down LLCs and S Corps. We have a deep training about that in the tax financial management course, and also in the Ready for Tax Season webinar that you can get, which really breaks down S Corps and the benefits to it. Everyone does not need to S Corp. Okay, so there are some benefits to S Corping. Sometimes there's not. Like, you really need to understand it. Don't just say everyone's on social media is like S Corp. Don't do that. You need to understand. Don't just follow people. Actually understand money. Understand your business. Like, understand what's going on. That's really important. A lot of people waste so much money because they're just following, oh, this person said this person said this person said this, right? But they don't really have the full information needed to, and they're just, how many times have you done something with somebody because someone told you to do it and it turned out being wrong and you had to do it all over again? Put a 1 in the chat. Okay, take the information, but also like double check it. Even when I say things, if I say something that's like, well, I don't know, double check it. I am not like an encyclopedia, or even encyclopedias get changed. Okay, so double check it, and like you make sure that you do your due diligence. Okay, that's really important. So yeah, we have different trainings on the website at notarytonotary.com. If you guys don't know, really quick backstory. I started as a notary in 2014. I'm looking for something I could do as a work from home kind of thing, like flexible with my new daughter, who was, I think, 2 or 3 at the time. And I started as a notary 2014, doing general notary work. Got a call one day from a signing service and was like, hey, can you do a loan closing? Had no idea what it was. I just did it. I said, sure, give it to me. That's just my personality type. I don't care. I'll try anything. And I fell in love with it because the pay was really good and it was super easy. And I started doing loan closings all the time and general notary work. And then I quit my job in 2016 because I was losing more money being at work than I would have been doing loan closing full time. And that was in 2016. I was primarily at that point doing loan closings very heavily. I also had my e-notary. I had that. Did you pass gas? Gross. Okay. I also had my e-notary at the time, but there wasn't really a market for it. There were some here and there. Like now, e-notary is everything. And then I started Notary to Notary in 2019. On Time Notary 2019-ish, and that's the signing service. And then I notarized last year. Okay, so that's a little bit about me and what I do. But yeah, and so I've been helping people build notary businesses since then. And we've always said it's mainly because the reason why I did it was that time freedom. And so we say that time and financial freedom that you can get from notary work. Okay. And so all the online courses are on there. And when you enroll, you have access to them indefinitely. Any new content we add, you have access to them as well. If you're in the coaching program, we did just add a new module. We have 2 new modules for you, but the new one was just added, and it's all about confidence and self-esteem. And that was one thing that we noticed. You guys know we were doing like a lot of surveys with you guys, and just really just assessing what you guys were looking for. And we found that a lot of notaries had the information. They did the training. They know it, but they were afraid. Like they were really scared to do it. How many of you guys were at that space? If you were, put a 2 in the chat. Okay. If you were like, calm down. If you were like, I'm scared, or, I'm intimidated. What if they look at me funny? What if I don't know what the words mean? What if I make a mistake? What if I miss signatures? And then some, a lot of people just get really stuck and they get scared. And so we find that a lot with the coaching program, that people, don't really have, some people do need help with the loan docs, but a lot of people really just needed some encouragement, some like confidence building tips and, techniques and things like that. So we have a whole new confidence building section inside the coaching program. What are you? Don't do that. You're doing a lot. Disperse. Now just hope she doesn't pee on my floor. We're working on that. Can you stop? Okay. All right, I think she's good. Oh yeah, but yeah, so I found that a lot of people were having issues with it, just like that self-confidence piece. So if you're in the coaching program, there is a module in there now for confidence building, and there's 2 new videos in there for you as well. And there's another module that will be uploaded in like 2 days. So ta-da! So make sure if you're not in the coaching program to go ahead and get into it. Also, starting, I think probably by tomorrow, I think the team is ready. I'm going to touch base with them. Just say by Friday. What's today? Yeah, by Friday. We will be doing e-notary. So sample e-notarization. So if you are interested in getting into e-notary, but you want to do some practice rounds, you want to get an idea of how to use the platform, we are doing sample e-notarizations with Secured Signings. Is the platform that we're using right now. And so you can get in there. Most platforms work the same, for the record. And so if you're in the coaching program and you schedule your session, you can just put in your notes, hey, I want to go over sample e-notarizations. And then when you get to your coach, they'll already have it loaded up for you, and you guys can go through some practice rounds and get familiar with how to use that platform. A lot of notaries have been, okay, a lot of notaries have been asking about that. I didn't get notification for what? For the live? I'm here though. Hey, Shug. All right, so let me give you guys some other things that I found out recently. Wait, first, there's a few events coming up. They're on the website. So we have this one this Saturday is the business grant training. So I'll be teaching that, the business grant training. If you have not done that, make sure you go to notarytonotary.com and register for that. That is this Saturday. You will get a replay. We're going to give you 10 grants that you can apply for now that are open. And we're going to just talk about how to find business grants, because there are business grants every single where, okay, everywhere. How to find business grants, how to apply for them, what they're looking for, and then we're going to give you grants so that you can apply for as well. So it's a great opportunity. That's one thing that I wish I would have done more of in the beginning, was getting, but even like now, like when I think about the grants that we've gotten, if I would have just buckled down more and did more, honey, you can like fund your whole business off of grants. Like, especially like our business has very low overhead. Like, you're not really paying for much besides like your printer. Like, in comparison to other industries, our industry has very low overhead. And so if you can get a few grants, you could easily, take care of your expenses, if not for like several months, almost a year, depending on what grants you qualify for. And so everything you bring in after that is profit. And then I did talk to my accountant, and he did say that grants don't count as earned income. They go in as equity. So I mean, we talked about that before. Like, do you have to pay taxes on it? So they said it doesn't get earned income tax. It goes into your company as equity. So that was what he told me. That was not for me. That was from my accountant who broke that down. But also just check with your accountant, whoever does your taxes, and they can explain that a little bit better. Okay. Because we did get some grants last year. So I wanted to make sure that we were going over our taxes, so we're filing in a couple of days. Hopefully we get them done this weekend. You guys know. Well, it depends on, anyway, we're not going to get into taxes right now. But the deadline to file is March 15th, actually. So everyone who has their little businesses, hello, business people. If you have your businesses, the deadline to file is March 15th. I don't know if that's just for S Corp or if it's for all LLCs. If you're doing a Schedule C, I believe you can wait until the regular filing date, which I think is like April 15th. Don't quote me on that. Just do your due diligence and double check. Did you sign up for the Goldman Sachs 1 Million Woman Initiative? No, I didn't, but I'm going to write it down. Goldman Sachs. That's why I said it's grants everywhere. They're all over. There was I posted one on the my personal page. I posted it because it didn't really apply to notary. It's more of a tech opportunity to get substantial. I think it was like $20,000 to $50,000, and that was like if you have a new tech company, which we do. I notarize, and so anyone who else had a tech idea, I posted on my personal page. But as I'm finding the grants, I'm posting them online. If they apply, or I feel like a notary could get them, I'll post them in the student group. But if they're just a basic grant, then I post them on my personal page, because I have a lot of entrepreneur friends and things like that that are on my personal pages, and so I share that with them. Also, guys, if you have already, is there a link for the business grant training? Yes, if you go to the website. So if you go to notarytonotary.com, there it's on the first page, or you can just click events and you'll see it there. Most states, if not all states, I want to say all states, but I don't like using all because I don't live in all states. So I can't tell you, but most states have what's called like a small women business owned, small women disadvantaged business owned certification that you can get. And so in Virginia, it's called SWAM certification. So if you're in Virginia, there is a certification called the SWAM certification, and I encourage you to get it. So basically what that does, that SWAM certification gives you a lot of advantages, and there are some grants that will ask that, I don't know if it gives you extra pull. I think it does, but there are some grants you can get. Like when you apply for some grants, it'll say, are you like, depending on if it's a state grant or if it's a national grant, it'll say, are you a small business, women, help me out if y'all know what I'm talking about, women owned, disadvantaged, veteran owned. It's like probably like 6 to 7 classifications that you can apply for. First of all, there are probably about 20 different certifications that I found that you can get that will increase your likelihood to even get grants and to get large commercial contracts, but also federal and state contracts. And so I found some of those like within the last week that I didn't even know existed. They were actually sent to me by another business owner, and then I had to reach out, and I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't know this was here. So that's why it's so important to network. So the SWAM certification is just for Virginia, but every state has one. Okay, they might call it something different, but basically what you're looking for, if you talk to like your economic development office, for your city, or like even for your state, they can tell you what it is. So if you just go into Google, let's say you're in Florida, like I'll show you, for example, like if I go to Florida right now, and I'm gonna go to Google and I put Florida small, I'm typing with one hand, guys, so bear with me. Small women, hey honey, small women owned business certification. Okay. So in Florida, all right, so let me see what it's called. The Office of Supplier Diversity does yours. Let me see what they call yours. They call yours Get Certified. I don't know if it has an actual name, but this is the pay. I can put the link. This is for Florida. Okay. So just kind of, you got to look. It's always a government site. It's always a government site. Okay. But that's like Florida. So you just like type that in and put your state, and it'll tell you like who's the certifying agency that does that. Okay. So in Virginia, it's called SWAM. And basically they it's like an application process they go to. I'll do New York really quick just because you asked and you're so sweet. All right. So if you do New York, New York's is New York. How many of you guys have heard that before? The small business, women owned, veteran owned. They also have like a disadvantaged business owner. So if you're, I forget, I don't want to say it the wrong way. Okay, so yours is called the MWBE. That's what it's called. So it stands for Minority Women. What is that? Minority. I just lost it. Hold on. It's called the MWBE, Minority Women Owned Enterprise. But they probably have more certifications too. I know veterans can get a special certification. Disabled owners can get a special certification. I'm going to put the link in for you really quick. But having these certifications, I'm not going to do everybody because I don't. Look at you. What about New Jersey? Every state has one. You just have to find out what it is. But having these certifications can help you not only get grants, but if you ever are looking into getting state contracts or city contracts or federal contracts, and not just in notary, I mean, any industry, these certifications help. And like I said, it's like over like 20 different certifications you can get. So yeah, New Jersey has one. It's MWBE, but it's a different website. Because yours is in New Jersey, it's state specific. Ta-da. All right, so that's New Jersey. But yeah, just Google what I told you and put your state and it'll come up. Okay. And so that's just one helpful tip that I've learned over time. And so it's just a really good certification that you can get. And it's not even like you have to do anything. It literally is just like it's an application where you're putting all your business information on there. So it just asks you like your EIN, your LLC, sometimes they might ask you for an operating agreement. It might ask you for like your DUNS number, which your DUNS number you would know from business credit, right? How many of you guys actually went to the business credit training and went and see how to get a DUNS number? Okay, it'll ask you for that. It'll ask you for I don't know, like your name, I mean, like your ID. It might ask you for your social, your birth certificates, and things like that. It just really depends on what the application is, but it's really simple. Ours does not have a fee to pay. I don't know if every state is free, but ours is free, so you don't have to pay a fee to get that. Okay. So yeah, so there's that. Hey, Junior. Isaiah? There's a kid and they're not listening to me, but it's okay. Can you close my door, darling? Yes, please. Thank you. Okay. Where was I going? I kind of lost my train of thought. I was going somewhere. Did you guys get a chance to grab our new notary journal and close that one over there too? Thank you. We have a new notary journal on Amazon. Oh, you can't see it because I got the blur going. So it's a really cool journal. Make sure you go grab yours. Don't slam. Thank you. Yeah, so there's that certification. But we do have our business grant training coming up, and we go into, how to get the grants. And sometimes grants ask you for those certifications. You do not have to have it. It just helps you increase your likelihood of getting it, including having those certifications. Be nice. Having those certifications also allow you to be able to, it does give you an advantage when it comes to getting contracts. That's the facts. Okay. Also, we have coming up the notary meetup in Richmond. Okay. So the notary meetup in Richmond is, I think it's March 17th. I think it's up to 25 or 50 people. You can get your ticket online. It's going to be March 17th in Richmond, Virginia. So if you're local and you want to come on out. We'll be out there. A really good event. I think it's food and drinks and I forgot. Look at the flyer. I forgot. But I'm excited. So we haven't had a notary meetup in who knows how long. So I'm excited for that. And then also coming up, we have the solicited feedback event. I don't know if you guys saw that. So the solicited feedback event is open for I think it's open for 5. It's 5 people. So if you have a notary business and you want your business critiqued by industry, like notary industry leaders that are actually doing it and that are successful in it, you can go to the website. It should be on there now. If not, it'll be on there later today. It's on our Eventbrite page. And so we're only taking 5 companies. So 5 notaries. You don't have to have your business built already. And I mean, you don't have to have an LLC, but you have to be like, okay, this is what I'm doing. Can you help me? And so what we're going to do is we're going to put your business on a pedestal. So everyone's going to see, we're going to send you a little intake form where you can fill out your website if you have one, your Google business page if you have one, just a good questionnaire. And then the panel that will be going over your notary business, and we're actually going to give you a report to do after, like a follow-up report, the things that you need to do. It's going to be myself, Ebony Locke, you guys know from 757 Sisters. She was one of our students who went on to make $70,000 in, was it 6 months? Yes. Lori Morgan, Nakia Alexander, Griff the Notary. But it's going to come back to me. So the flyer will be out shortly, so you can register for that. But I will say, if you do want your business critiqued, okay, it's called solicited feedback. First of all, don't make sure you don't have soft skin. Don't be upset. We're telling you to fix your website and change this and take that off and add this or whatever the case is. You can go to the Eventbrite page, and I forget the fee I think it's $50 if I'm not mistaken. It's either 50 or 100 to be on the actual have your business critiqued. And so it's only 5 people. So if you want to have your business critiqued, go to notarytonotary.com. No, actually, it's not on the website yet. It's on our Eventbrite page. So really quick, I'm going to give you the link. So, and I'm sure those 5 are going to be gone quickly, but you can also register just to attend. And to attend, it's only $10. And so I'm really excited about this because, we're going to be doing these monthly. So every month we're going to have a solicited feedback event. And the reason why we're doing is I think a lot of people can benefit. Like when we have our coaching sessions, a lot of people can benefit from everything that we're talking about. And so it's like, how can we put like an individualized coaching session on like the main stage? And so this is how we're going to do it. And so you'll be in the room, you'll see, people, and it's not just me, it's other successful notaries. Be nice. Other successful notaries that will be on the panel that will give you their feedback. And so we're going to review your information before you even get on the stage, before you come live center stage. So this is going to be really exciting. I'm going to give you guys the link really quick to the solicited feedback event. Copy URL. Okay, and I will say only 5, it's a 2-hour session, so only 5 notary businesses can be critiqued. So if you want your business critique, make sure you get your ticket today. And then if you just want to watch, you can get it anytime you want. Okay, so those are the 3 events we have coming up. We have the solicited feedback, we have the notary meetup in Richmond, and then we have the grant training that's this Saturday. Okay. All right. So what else? So I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing anything as far as notary to notary goes. Hold on a second. Oopsie. Okay. All right. So On Time Notary, you guys know, is the signing service. So the signing service is doing its thing. There's nothing really new that we have to say. I told you guys that we are implementing the notary to notary NSA exam, screening those people out there. So you should be getting phone calls. If you haven't got one yet, don't worry, it will come from our notary point of contacts that will be screening your profiles and experience on signingorder.com. So if you're not on signingorder.com, make sure you get on there. And I also ask if you've taken both your NNA and notary certifications, upload them to Signing Order. Also, if you're an e-notary, please put that on Signing Order, because there's no way for us to know. We're not going to just search your name in your state to figure out if you're an e-notary. If we are looking for e-notary and you're not, it doesn't have it on your profile, you just won't get the work. And I told you guys before, on On Time Notary is not doing, if you guys just joined, I keep looking down, it's because I have my dog. I got a new dog and she's right here. So I know you're like, Vanessa, why do you keep looking at the floor? That's because my puppy's right here and she just keeps doing a lot. And then she keeps trying to chew wires. So I have to make sure she doesn't do that. Otherwise, the video will go black. Okay. That's that. Let's talk about iNotarize really quick. So iNotarize is awesome. Okay. It's amazing. And what's going on right now, I will tell you guys, as we've been maneuvering in the business, I'm just going to be, and I was talking to Tia about this. And, sir, ma'am, it's actually a man. She's actually a ma'am. Don't say I didn't tell you this. Okay. Yeah, do me a favor. What's something that we used to always use and now we don't use? Most people don't use it. For there's something that industry that has been like cycled out. I would probably say like VHSs, DVDs. Darling, hold on. Someone alive. Anywho, the payphone. Yes, the payphone that's been circled out. Now, actually, there are a few payphones different places, but not. Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right. So exactly. And so we've been talking to other title companies as we're like starting to expand and get that e-notary business. I can honestly tell you, I think, and also there was a guy on the NNA Summit who said the same thing, the NNA Success Summit, who said, here comes the water. No, they're good. Who said the same thing, like within the next, I think he said 5 years. He said within the next 2 to 5 years, I'm going to tell you right now, within the next 2 years, I can honestly say, and the reason why I say next 2 years is because we're in 2022. It's still going. 2023, you're going to see a drastic RON movement. But by 2024, we should be primarily RON. And the reason why is that most lenders and title companies want to do it. It's literally just waiting on the states and waiting on legislation and waiting on like just the expansion and waiting on the providers and the notaries and everybody to be on the same page. But I will tell you my professional opinion. You can quote me on this. RON is going to be the primary way that loans are being closed. And so if you've been a notary for a while or you just got into notarizations, you got into loan closings, don't say I didn't tell you. Within the next year or two, if you're looking to do primarily in-person closings, there's not going to be much of a market left for that. There will always be in-person closings for right now. Anyway, the next probably 2 to 5 years. The reason being not a lot of places in America still don't have internet. I don't know if you know like a rural area near you that does not have internet connection, but they still have houses, right? So they can't e-close, right? That's actual a thing that the government is trying to fix, getting Wi-Fi everywhere, getting internet everywhere. But there are a lot of places that still don't have internet. Right? A lot of rural areas still don't have internet, so they can't do, RON closings. Also, it's just like, like how many of you guys still know people who have DVDs and who have, I don't know anyone who has a pager. But I've seen a payphone every once in a while, like very randomly. And I still know people who have VHSs. Like I think there always will be some, but the dominant way that loans are going to close is going to be on RON. Now there will still be general notary work for now. And I honestly can say that might take 5 years because it's a lot easier to reach the hundreds or thousands of mortgage lenders and title companies to get them transitioned than it is to reach the millions of people who live in this country to get them all transitioned to RON. So that's going to take a lot longer for notaries to actually, get, for people, general public to actually get to the your question threw me off. So that's why I'm like, I lost my train of thought to get actually on RON. So this is a question. It says, wait, what will the payout be for? Oh, honey, I read your question wrong. And that's how I was like, what will the payout be for NSAs who sign up for iNotarize? We have not released our pay schedule or our fee schedule yet, so it will not be released until closer to a launch date. And what's the best platform for Ron? It depends on your state. So I can't really answer that unless I can see what you can do in your state. If your state doesn't have limitations, then there's a lot of great platforms out there. If it does have limitations, then you have to go with what your state has approved that you can use. Okay. Business is slow. Business has not been slow for me. I literally just text Ebony about this event we're doing, and she was like, "I'm closing right now." Which Ebony's always closing, and I'm like grabbing myself. And so she's like, "I'm closing right now. I'm gonna text you when I finish." But no, if you feel like business is slow, you need to up your marketing. You need to up your interaction. You need to up your networking because the work is out there. You just need to be the one that gets it. Okay. Is the NNA and end-to-end certification required? It's not required, but it changes your ranking. So like we have general users that are just approved and then preferred. So preferred has both certifications. Approved is just having the base certifications that are required. And I don't even think the NNA one is not required to be approved. I don't think it's required to be approved. Like the insurances, the background check is a few other things, but none of those are required to get worked on our platform. We'll just have you as approved. But if you wanted to get the preferred, then you need both. Will signing services go away when Ron comes? No, like we're sending out Ron. So it's still done through signing services and title companies. So no, it's still the same process. How do we sign up and become a part of iNotarize? So we did reopen our founder circle. If you want to get in the founder circle, go to iNotarize.com to see it. But if you just want to be a user of the platform, the user portion is not open yet. You have to wait for us to actually launch. I have a house phone. Okay. I don't know. Is it right there? You got it? Thank you, darling. Got it? Okay. Anywho, what was I saying? Yeah, and then so we did finalize our fee schedule. We just haven't released it yet for iNotarize. Signing service will not become extinct. And so the reason why is that it's still the same process. It's the execution that's changing. So it's the actual notary driving to someone's house that's changing, right? But the getting it, the reviewing of the documents, the coaching of the notary, that whole thing that signing services do, that's not changing. It's just the actual and the thing is, so I will think that title companies just do the closing. Title companies do so much, okay? They have to do so much work before they, like the closing is like the last piece. Really the last, they have to file the deed, and disperse the funds. But the closing piece is like the second to the last piece of the whole puzzle. And so that is like a whole, so that they don't have to manage the ROM platforms and the notaries and the fees and then, paying out, all that stuff. It's just like, one less thing they have to do on their plate. So that's why title companies outsource the actual dispatching of notaries to signing services. Okay. How long is the founder circle open for? We haven't decided yet. So I will let you know. We just reopened it for March. So if you attended the last founders meeting, you know why. We just added on some more features. Can non-members attend the Chamber of Commerce meetings? It depends on your state. So most chambers will allow a non-member to attend as a guest one time because most people want to see before they buy. Like if you ever went to like a BNI meeting, one of those networking meetings, those are good too. Then typically what they would do is they'll let you come to one meeting to see how it goes. And then if you like it, you pay to actually come again and to stay. And so we actually had a chamber meeting today, a luncheon today. A lot of networking, met a lot of clients, had a lot of fun. Who did I meet? You guys will find out. I met probably like 4 different businesses that Notary to Notary is going to work with. And so I can't tell you what it is yet because I have to actually, solidify the contracts, things like that. But I'm really excited about that. With the title companies, just upload docs to Ron if you got the signing agency. I would hope not. If you really think about it, I mean, they could do that, but then they would have to manage the actual, they manage the platform, manage the notaries, manage the closing. You know, they absolutely could, but it's like, you can think about it. Title companies right now don't need signing services. They don't. They could manage the notaries by themselves. They're not going out, but they choose to because it's one less thing to do. So it's like, take, what can I automate? And that's when they can automate. They can say, okay, let's just make a contract with this company. Let them deal with this piece. You can only outsource but so much in your business. So like right now, title companies don't need signing services. They don't. But what signing services offer is time freedom for the title company. Okay, so basically we take off a load that they no longer have to deal with, and they can focus on the actual title researches and conveying of properties, not finding a notary, going through credentials, going through just the whole process, and then paying them and doing 1099s and like that whole situation. They don't have to do all that. So the signing service takes care of all that piece. And then also, like, typically any questions they may have, the signing service will usually answer them. It just depends. But so it outsources one piece of their business. Now, will there be title companies that don't use signing services? Yes, there are some who don't. Like Amrock, for example, is a title company, but also operates as their own signing service. So like they do RON. So they don't outsource to another company. They do it themselves. But there are a lot of companies who don't do that. So this really depends up to you. It's like one of those things like, can you clean your own house? You absolutely can. But if you want to, you can pay somebody to come clean it for you. So it's like one of those things that people pay for convenience. So like I could do it, or I pay somebody else to do it. So you will see title companies who like, you know what, I can manage it. Especially if they only have like a small amount of closings. I can manage it myself. But let's say you have a whole lot and you don't want to manage it. That's one thing I could outsource and not deal with. Why not outsource it, right? It's the same. You're paying essentially the same thing, but someone else is dealing with, a nice piece of the closing process that you don't have to deal with. So that's why title companies use signing services. That kind of explains it for you. So that to make it clear, like they don't need a signing service. It's a luxury they pay for. So it's one less thing they have to do, if that makes sense. Yeah. Cool. All right. So that's iNotarize. We're still set to launch closer to this, like in the spring, which is coming up, which I'm excited about. Yeah, but I wanted to tell you guys some more stuff, and I kind of got distracted with other things. Like I kind of like went on a little tangent here. Did you guys have any questions? You guys have any questions that I can answer for you guys? That's what I was going to tell you. What I titled this, What It Takes to Be Successful. And the reason why I said that is because it kind of goes to my point about someone had said that it gets slow. It literally is like, you have to work your business like a business, right? So you have to work on yourself first.
But how do you...
He's so sweet. He came into me and said, how did your day go? My day went well. How was your day? Good. Okay. Anyway, what am I gonna say? I was gonna tell you guys something. But yeah, so it takes a lot of work. It's not something that's built overnight. But one thing I will say, if you're not getting the business that you're looking for, typically it's what you're doing. And that's why that unsolicited feedback event is gonna be really good. Okay. There's, like, for example, marketing. Oh, we have a surprise for you. You will see in a second. Actually, Bill Soroka and I are working on something that you guys will find out very soon. Hopefully in the next couple of days. I'm really excited about it. It's going to be awesome. Just wait on it. It'll come out. If you're having an issue with the directory, the Notary Directory USA, just send an email to info@notary2notary and we can look at it for you. But yeah, so like marketing, for example, changes all the time. It changes all the time. It just really depends. Like it's always something you have to learn and, continue to really just keep learning and growing. And that's something that Bill Soroka and I were talking about SEO. Like SEO changes all the time. Like the algorithms for Google changes all the time. And so if you have a website or a Google business page and you really want to expand your reach, you have to stay up to date. And like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. LinkedIn, first of all, is a gold mine. I will tell you that for me personally. If you don't have a LinkedIn if you have a business, you should have a LinkedIn, period. LinkedIn used to be just like a hiring kind of platform, but now it's so much networking. And I feel like I can do a whole training on LinkedIn. Like LinkedIn, there's a way, like how many of you guys use LinkedIn faithfully? I mean, faithfully is like at least once every like 2 to 3 days. At least once every 2 to 3 days. How many of you guys have a LinkedIn? So I will say I have got title companies off LinkedIn, but there's so much more. Like LinkedIn is like, and when you go to LinkedIn, you don't want to be spammy. Like don't spam people, don't blow people up, right? But join groups, like join groups that are specific to your niche or your industry, and actually add content, add value, and then build relationships. It's really important, and that's how you're able to gain clients and gain work from. I looked at it, but not really a user. LinkedIn is awesome. Okay. Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, they all send out emails. How many of you guys actually read the emails that come from LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Google? How many of you guys, if you actually read the emails, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't read the emails, put a 2 in the chat. I'm curious. If you get an email from Instagram with an update, or if you guys have a YouTube channel and you get an email, if you're actually monetizing on YouTube and you get an email from YouTube, or if you have a TikTok channel, you get an email from TikTok or a notification from TikTok, or if you have a, okay. All right, so I have 2 things I want to comment on, and then we're going to touch base. So 1, if you don't read the emails. 2, if you do read the emails. So you can get connections. It's Adora. It just really depends on what you put in your profile and like who comes up. And so LinkedIn doesn't like when you get third what's it called, 3rd tier connections. They really want you to focus on your 1st and 2nd level. If you're not on LinkedIn, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. Actually, if you do too many, it kind of flags you. And so you want to, people, right? You know people. So start with who you know. And then from there, they'll have a network. And then you can get into their network. But you can also just join groups. That's another way that you can get connections. If you just join like notary groups or title or real estate or mortgage groups or business groups, things like that, you can join groups and get connections that way. And then I want to say your name right. Is it Zelfa? So I didn't personally like the LinkedIn because it's permitted anyone to access more confidential information that can be compromised. So you have that same capability to put on your profile what you want. So same how you do with Facebook, you can do the same thing with LinkedIn. You don't have to put all that on there. But one thing I always say this piece is like my little side note for everybody, especially, and this is something that I've noticed, and I just kind of want to give my little 2 cents because I'm actually like really heavily in the marketing space and been studying the platforms and algorithms and things like that. And I know a lot of people who would do it like all day. If you have a smartphone, 9 out of 10, your settings are set in a way that you have no privacy anyway, especially if you have downloaded Facebook, Google, Instagram, your privacy is already gone. So I just want to put that out there, especially most of these apps have features built in where like your privacy is gone. Like, and it was funny. I was talking to someone, a friend of mine who was saying this, like she was having like, oh, I don't want to do this or I don't do that and privacy things. And I was like, I guarantee you, I could probably find anything I wanted to know about you online right now. And she's like, I don't think you can. I said, I really can't. And I did. And she was like, how did you know that? Like there are websites that just go on anytime you go online, your information is being collected. Like Google right now knows everything about you. Google, especially if you have like maps. How many of you guys have maps on your phone? Like your location turned on? Google knows where you live. It knows where you work. It knows where you like to eat. It knows where you like to shop. It knows where your kids go to school at. It knows what time you leave the house. It knows what time you come home. It knows what you like to do on weekends. Like the information that's collected from these platforms is insane. If you actually knew, like, I wish I could show you, like there's, and if I can just show you like what I know, is the bare minimum. Okay. Like you might, okay, what if I know it's the bare minimum and say, let's say you know 0, but I know it's like the minimum because when I say they, I mean the platforms. Like we use, like I'm in a couple different business coaching, like marketing techniques and things like that. There are websites that we use and we can put in like different terms or whatever, and it will pull up like everything. It'll say like, this kind of person usually buys a dog on the weekend. Like that's what I'm talking about. It's like they track you like that. Like typically Tia will take a vacation in the summertime. And so if you normally take vacations like on the summertime, or you've been talking about going here, it'll say, okay, well, she normally does this. Or Adora normally gets on TikTok at 9:00. Or, I'm so serious. Like if you have a smartphone and you have any of these apps, your privacy is completely gone. I know in your mind, you're like, no, but it's not. It is. Okay. People who say they don't like to order things online for security reasons, that's completely gone. At this point, I don't know if you guys know, you do not have to use your card online for it to be stolen and hacked into. I was talking to, because actually is how I learned, because I had a business debit card that I received in the mail, never used it. I activated it and I put it in my drawer. It never left my house, and it was fraud on it. Someone used it and they bought wine from 1-800, was it 1-800-wine.com? And I was like, how is that even possible? I've never used it. And I was talking to the fraud department at the bank, and they were saying that, the way that these hackers do now, like they can pull the numbers from, I guess, like whatever the BB&T or Wells Fargo database is. Like if they just hack into that. You don't even have, I don't know how they do it. Yes, they can pull it off websites. There are websites who still do that. But at this point where we are in society, that's why most banks have an automatic return policy, like a refund policy. So if you say you get fraud, if you had fraud, most banks will just give you the money right back, because at this point where we are in 2022, there is no real security. And there's no security. There are security measures you can take, but nothing is 100%. So if you're somebody who, I don't do anything online, that's still not 100%. Unless you have no bank account, no smartphone, unless you're disconnected from everything, there is nothing that's 100%. And I will tell you, there's this book, guys. It's a really cool book to read if you're into security. Trying to try to be more discreet. It's this really good book. I don't know if you guys ever read it. It's called How to Be Invisible by J.J. Luna. And they do teach a lot about how to kind of protect yourself, how to like limit some things you can do to kind of protect yourself from, fraud and identity theft and things like that. But nothing is 100%. So throw that out there. Okay, you ping and leave digital breadcrumbs all, and that's one thing too. How many times have you guys ever? It's called cookies. It's cookies, and it's something else. I forgot what the term is called. But most websites, 99. Well, no, that's a lie. Most websites of major corporations or companies who understand marketing, whenever you visit their site, your IP, I want to say right, your IP address is tagged. Like you are tagged, for lack of better words. And it basically is like a little tracker, and it just follows you around. And so wherever you go, their ads pop up. And so that's how you're able to go to, let's say you go to, I don't know, give me a product. You go to Victoria's Secret. I don't know. You go to Victoria's Secret site, right? And you go on their site, you look around, but you don't buy anything. When you go off that site and you go on Instagram, or you go on Facebook, or you go on Google or whatever, you're carrying that cookie, I think it's what it's called, with you. And that's why you continue to see those ads, because it tags to your IP address. I'm telling y'all, not to get too deep, it's really, really, your privacy no longer exists. And that's okay. I feel like when people try to, they try to run from the system, unless you're going to go completely off the map, it's not going to happen. But I would say if you're in business, use it to your advantage, right? So if you know these things are out there, use them to your advantage, right? So if you know that you want to hit a certain market, like you want to hit title companies, or you want to hit whatever your product you're selling, even if it's not just notary, learn how these things work and use it to your advantage. I was listening to this marketing, I think, what's his name? He was talking about how, now it's so easy to reach your target audience because Google, Facebook, Instagram has literally solidified it. Like they know exactly, right? It's a website. It's called Facebook Analytics or something like that. Whatever. Facebook Trends, I think. Facebook something. Anyway, you can put a product in. So let's say a product is notary training, or if you put in like, I don't know, doggy diapers or something like that, whatever product you put in, it'll tell you who is interested in this product, who is likely to buy, where do they live. It'll say most people who buy doggy diapers live in Texas and they're typically married and they work these kind of jobs and they may have kids and they shop on, it's so detailed. Like the amount of information they pull on people and they track, and they're constantly tracking. Listen, I'm not gonna get into this right now, but I'm gonna tell y'all, I've been like just doing my research a lot on just like technology and artificial intelligence. And there are companies, it's a guy that I met recently. He has a company where his whole company, mine is just one small company. There's other companies out there who do the same thing. Their whole business model is they look for things that humans do. So what do we do? And they say, how can we build a software or artificial intelligence to do that for us? And so I was talking about something that we do in notary work, and that's one thing that we're adding to the platform. And he was like, I was like, oh, can a software? I was telling him what iNotarize did, and he was like, oh, you can build a software that does this piece for you. And I was like, how can a robot do that? Like, how can a software do that? And he said, it's AI. Artificial intelligence can do anything that humans can do when it comes to like analyzing data, just a lot of different things. Don't get me, I'm not the AI specialist, but I said it to go back to Ron. Ron is more time effective and it's more cost effective, and everyone sees it and everyone's going to do it. And I think that, and this is just off my research. Okay. So I'm not calling you out. I promise I'm not. This is from Facebook Analytics. The average notary is between 35 and 60 years old. Okay, so if we just say 40 to 60, the average notary is between 40 and 60 years old. Most people between 40 and 60 or 65 are not as technologically savvy. And I've seen it myself firsthand in coaching, and so not to say you can't do it. It just says you need to learn it. If you're banking on being a loan signing agent for the rest of your life, without Ron, I highly doubt that's going to happen. And this is just from where the trends are going. Anything can happen, but pretty sure. And so don't just count yourself out and say, well, I don't understand how to use a computer. Don't do that. There are free classes. Like most community colleges have free classes just for computer basics. YouTube can do it. Your granddaughter or your daughter can teach you how to do it. I can honestly say that Ron is going to be where it's at for loan closing within the next year or two. Okay. And so if you have not started learning what Ron is, we have a training, but definitely you need to figure it out. And it's not to say you can't do general notary work, because you can. Like I said, it probably will take a while for general notary work to actually go completely Ron. I mean, I could easily see it taking at least 5 years at minimum before everyone goes Ron, as far as the general public, because there's a whole lot of people you have to, get on board with that, and so, but real estate industry, mortgage lenders, they're already ready. They're waiting. Like they're working on, getting the states to jump on board, getting technology, getting the legalities. But honey, it's happening. It's happening. I would say next year, you're going to see, by the end, I'm telling you right now, by the end of this year, you're going to see a major shift. But by next year, by the end of next year, it's going to be Ron. It is. And so if you don't want to do Ron and you want to do loan closings, I don't think it's going to work. I think there will always be some loan closings. But if you're trying to fill, and I don't think it's going to drastically drop instantly in 2 years, but you're definitely going to see Ron dominate it. So you'll still have, but I would say hands down within 5 years, it's going to be primarily Ron for loan closings. Like I would say probably between 3 to 5 years, it's going to become primarily Ron for loan closings. Now there's general notary work. There's still apostille. There's a lot of things you can still do as a notary. But when it comes to loan closings, that's where it's at. So I don't know how many of you guys have gotten into Ron. How many of you guys are like, okay, I'm on board. I'm doing it. We have a Ron guide. It's on Amazon. It's called the Do-It-Yourself Ultimate Ron Guide. We also have the Ron training. We also sell eNotary seals. We'll have our eNotary platform coming live in the spring. So we're ready. And I will tell you that I saw it coming. And I was like, oh. And I kept saying, how many of you guys have followed me for a while? I kept saying, like, it's about to be Ron. Like, Ron's about to hit. Ron's about to hit. Right? I've been saying it for like, what? Ever since like COVID, like the end of 2020, I was calling it out. I was like, yo, Ron's about to hit. It's about to hit. And then like the beginning of 2021, I said, it's only like a handful of platforms, like, right? A handful that are actually like doing something in the game. And you know me, I'm trying to eat. So I'm like, hold on, how can I get into this? And it's a new market. Honey, it's a new market. So I said, I need to break into this. And so that's when I said, let's do iNotarize. And so it started off as an idea, business plan, things like that. And now we're rolling it out. But it's like perfect time because it's about, honey, it's about to go down. It is about to go down. Okay. I'm excited for the record. Listen. Okay, I'm excited, but I had to see it. You have to, if you're in an industry, you have to study the trends. You got to see where it's going. It's like saying, like, it's like being like a Blockbuster and saying, no, people will always buy VHSs. People will always buy movies. Nah, Netflix is here and so is Hulu. We no longer need to buy movies, like not actual movies, right? And so just think about that when you are thinking about your business. One thing that I think was Mark Cuban said, he said, whenever you're in business, think about the thing that would put you out of business and do that. You have to know your industry. You have to know that trend. Know that someone's always trying to make what you're doing better. And so you could be that person that says, how can I innovate in this industry? How can I make it better? But if you're not doing it, think about what someone else could be doing to make it better. And then you have to stay up to date on what's happening, right? You get to update what's happening. And so I highly recommend that you do Ron. Highly recommend that you get business grants. Highly recommend that you get business credit. Get the SWAM certification or the equivalent for your state. Highly recommend you do that. Network is important. Networking is key. And then understand marketing. That's really important. That's a really key piece to growing any business is marketing and sales, right? And so marketing is more, I would focus on that first, like marketing right now. Tia said, I want all the money. I completed one and failed the second run, but I'm still working on it. Okay, that's okay. Keep going. Keep going. Something you search for on one side will appear on the ad on the other side. Exactly. I have everything for Ron, but trying to work through choosing overwhelming. Should I just wait for iNotarize? You don't have to, like I said. So you only need one paid platform. If you already have the clients, people that are calling you, then get an independent platform. If you do not have anybody calling you yet and you haven't started marketing and you don't plan on marketing, then join a dependent platform like NotaryCam, SafeDocs, Notarize, companies like that will give you work so you can kind of get your feet wet. I mean, you can always join as many dependent platforms as you want. So like when iNotarize launches, you can be on Notarize and on iNotarize because you're not paying to be on there as a dependent notary. You're paying to use it if you're going to be independent, but you're not going to pay to be a dependent notary. Our platform is going to be hybrid. So we're going to have it where it is dependent, where we give you work, and it also will be independent where you can use it for your own clients. Okay. I just decided I want to be a notary today. Yay! Welcome, Jenna. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. So I'm really excited, guys. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. I'm really excited to see how the industry grows. I don't know if you guys saw it. We put out that we joined the MISMO. Whatever. It's one of the certifications that you need as a to be an e-notary platform. Okay, let me clear that up. It's not required yet, but I'm pretty sure most states are going to require it. Some states do require it. So we just joined that membership. And then once the platform is done, we'll apply for that certification. So we are in the fold, honey. We are about to, it's going to be a whole situation. I'm excited. And so I'm excited for iNotarize to launch. I really want to tell you guys all the things that it does, but I have to wait because I can't let the cat out of the bag until it launches. But I'm excited. It's a whole, listen. The day when I tell you what it does, you're going to be like, oh my goodness, Vanessa. I know, right? And the idea came to me in the shower. But anyway, I'm just excited, guys. I really am. So you guys know we have the training online. We have the events coming up. So this weekend, we have the grant training that does have a replay. Next week, we have the notary meetup that's in Richmond, Virginia. And then we have that following weekend, we have the solicited feedback training. So if you want to have your business critiqued, remember, we're only doing 5 notary businesses, right? If you want to get your business critique so you can see what you're doing wrong or what you're doing right and how we can help you improve and then get that report at the end, make sure you register today because we're only taking 5 businesses. You can also register to attend. You can register to attend or you can register to have your business critique if you're bold enough. And so the panel is myself, Griff, Lori, Nakia, Ebony. I think that's it. I think I'm missing somebody. If I am, I'm upset. When is the next founders meeting? I will probably have another one closer to the end of the month. We might do one next week. I want to do it on Zoom so everyone can see each other. That was one thing that we were talking about in the last founders meeting. So everyone can see each other and just kind of get some feedback and everybody can talk. And so we'll probably, if we don't do one next week, we'll do it the following week. Because next week I'll be out of town. Next week I'll actually be in New Orleans. I miss Mardi Gras. But we are going to New Orleans, so I'm excited about that. Tia knows I've been talking about that for a while. We will be in New Orleans next week, so maybe we can do like a little meetup while I'm out there. I'm excited about that. And anywhere I go, I'm always working. I'm always networking. I'm always like, how can I get some title companies? Listen, how's your traveling calendar looking? Are you coming to Indiana? I am. I know. I have to come out there. I do. Nakia is out there. I got to get out there. I think she's in Indiana. And Lori, right? Can you please make sure I get a link? Yes, Tia, I got you, honey bun. All right, guys, that's also the clock on the wall. Be awesome on purpose. You can live your best life today. You just have to decide to. Okay, decide. I want to tell you something really quick. If you have a vision board, get a vision board. Get a vision board. Do affirmations. I'm so excited because you guys are gonna find that I did something that was on my vision board. I'm really, really excited. But it was. And when you set something on your vision board, don't settle. Because I was going for something on my vision board and it wasn't, when I went to go do it, it wasn't working out the way I intended and I almost settled. But then I reminded myself, Vanessa, don't settle. You said you wanted this, so get that. So I said, no, I don't want it. And then immediately I got what I wanted. And I was like, oh, snap, when you don't settle and actually decide what you want. So I'm excited. You guys will find out soon enough. I'm really excited. Actually, find out tomorrow. Listen, how many of you guys are still on your affirmations and on your vision boards and on your goals, on your New Year resolutions, whatever that is? Stay focused. Stay focused. You don't want last year to be like, you don't want this year to be like last year where you started in January, February, and then the year ended the same way. Okay, so I will tell you tomorrow, Tia. Okay. We are working on getting iNotarize in all 50 states. You kind of wait till we launch. I don't like saying we will be. I'm going to say I'm like 99% sure we're going to be in all 50 states. So I'm excited about that. All right, guys. That is also the clock on the wall. I will see you guys mañana. Be great on purpose. And until next time, happy signing. Have a great night, guys. And work those businesses, okay? Go hard. Like, you will not be outworked. Say that. I will not be outworked. Okay. I'm putting in the work, the blood, sweat, and tears. And that's why I have all these benefits. A lot of people, I heard Eric Thomas said it today. People have huge dreams, but really small work ethic. Okay. So make sure that your work ethic is bigger than your dreams and you will always get it. Okay. If your work ethic is bigger than your dreams, you will always get it. Okay. And be mindful of who you guys are hanging around. Really important. It's really important. I know you don't think it is because you like your friends, but I can promise you I've seen a major shift in my life when I shifted out people that were toxic or that were not, or just not doing anything. Stagnation is a thing. And if you have people who aren't doing things, you're going to be just like them. You're going to be the 5th person. If all your friends are broke, you'll be the 4th. If you have 4 friends and they're all broke, you'll be the 5th, right? It's the truth. You are the sum of who you hang around. Like we are people, we copy people. We copy who we're around. Right. And so be mindful of who you're hanging around. Be mindful of who is talking to you, who's speaking into your life, because if they're not adding value, whatever they tell you're gonna process. Even if you don't accept it, it's in your mind. And so just be mindful of who you are around. Yes, I will not be outworked, period. Listen, okay, let's get it. Can you order your e-notary still from the NNA? And if so, can you use it with the platforms you choose to work with? You can get from the NNA. Yes. I don't know if they have stipulation on what platforms they work with. I'm not 100% sure, but I know you can get it from them as well. Okay. All right, guys. If you want it from us, you can get it from us as well. Just send an email to info@notary2notary. We can get yours done in 2 to 3 business days. It's $8.99. All right. Be awesome on purpose, and I will see you guys mañana. Bye. Well, not bye. See you later, alligator. And tomorrow I have a really good surprise. Vision board. What's it? I want to show you guys my vision board and then show you my surprise. And it's funny. As soon as I got it, I said, you know what? I need something else on vision board. I'm really focused. It's motivating me. Right? Motivating me. All right, guys. I'll see you guys later. Be awesome on purpose. Toodle-dee-doos. I think I said that like 5 times, didn't I? Hey guys, have you had a chance to get a copy of my new book, The Ultimate Ron Guide? If you are ready to build a remote online notary business, then this book is what you need. In this book, I give you all the information that you need to know in order to build a successful remote online business, no matter what state you're in, as long as your state authorizes remote online notarizations. Head on over to Amazon today